Hey, what's up guys, it is Saintsfan and welcome back to another episode of the GTA 5 Q&A. This is a series where you guys get to ask me questions and I give you guys my opinions. And this week is going to be a bit different. Instead of taking questions from Twitter, I'm going to be answering some questions that I kept seeing over the past few days on a lot of my videos about the brand new Finance and Felony DLC. So hopefully this answers some of those questions that I kept seeing. Now, some of them are going to be a bit speculative, but questions such as, what happened to the stunt races? That was a question surprising that I saw a lot. Hopefully will now be answered. Anyway, getting into it, we will start with that question. What happened to stunt races? Did Rockstar just forget about them? For whatever reason, I think people assume that the stunt races with the Finance and Felony update, it would be just one big update, but that's not going to be the case. No, the Finance and Felony update is obviously coming out next week, and then the next big update after that is going to be the stunt races. So for those people wondering where that update went, it's still there. It's not going to come out probably until, I would say, mid-July. Another question that I saw fairly frequently is, how many offices do you think there will be with this update? Like, how many will be available for us to actually purchase? And over the weekend on Saturday, I actually went through all 20 of those little red markers on the mini-map or on the map that was on the computer, and most of them seemed like warehouse properties. However, a few did look fairly nice that they could include some sort of headquarters in addition to a warehouse. We also checked out the building in question, like the one that's in the actual picture, and it seems like they're in the business center, which is the big black building with like the 3 circular parts going up. My theory is that one, the one in the business center, is like the main office. You have to purchase that first, and then you have access to all these warehouses. And similar to how like Benny's is the only place on the map to go and get your cars super customized, the business center would be the only place on the map to go and start and to become a CEO. Like, that's where you choose to buy and sell your properties, or maybe even set up pickup points, like if you're trying to sell the contraband that you stole. I mean, it's in the name, the business center, so it's the center of business, and that's just what I think. So for me, how many offices do I think will be available? There might be a few to choose from that vary in that business center, but I think the business center is going to be the only place where you can actually have one of those offices. I could be wrong. If you guys want to add to any of that, let me know in the comment section. Another question was, is there a difference between being a VIP and being a CEO? Now again, this is a question that I can only speculate on, but I bet there are. I mean, I don't think a VIP is going to be the same thing as a CEO, just because the VIP only lasts for 4 hours, and if being a CEO only lasted for 4 hours, I think that would upset a lot of people. The way I see them balancing the CEO spot is that you only can have so much contraband, and that's where the warehouses are going to come into play. If you have a big warehouse, then you can obviously have more. If you have a small warehouse, you don't have as much, and you can't get any more contraband until you sell whatever is in the warehouse. One really cool theory I saw, and I hope this is the case, unfortunately I think it's a little bit too much to be asking for, but once you get all the contraband, once you have a full warehouse, each time you go and sell it, you get different numbers. So like, say 1 week, some made up company, NPC company, they want to buy, let's go with jewelry or something. So that week, if you have jewelry, it'll sell for a higher price than the next week when another NPC company, let's just say they need drugs or medical supplies. So the next week, the jewelry won't sell as much, but the medical supplies or drugs will. That would really bring an interesting dynamic to GTA Online. Unfortunately though, I think that might be asking for a little bit too much. As for the difference between VIP and CEO, I honestly think it's going to be 2 totally separate things. There might be a little bit of an overlap just because of the organization stuff, but I think they will be a little bit different. And I also think that to become a CEO, you're going to need a lot more money in your bank account. I would say the minimum, like 5 million just to become a CEO. You wouldn't spend any of that if you don't want to. But if they're making this to be like the next big thing, then yeah, I would say about 5 million in your bank account to have the option to become a CEO. Another question I saw a lot was, will we get personal trucks or vans to customize for trafficking all this contraband? What I said on stream the other day, I hope is the case, But I'm willing to bet that the small, medium, and large warehouses not only affects how much contraband you can carry, but maybe it also will allow you to store a couple of personal vehicles. Like the small one, you can't store any. Maybe the medium one, you can store 1 or 2. And then the large one, you could store 3 to 5. And what they could do, they could take cars like the boxcar or the mule, I think it's called. And maybe now with this, Rockstar could implement the Pegasus customization system that many people have been wanting. And yeah, it wouldn't work on every Pegasus vehicle, but some cars like the mule or other cars that you would associate with drug trafficking or just trafficking any contraband in general, you might now be able to customize them a little bit to your organization's style. I think that would be really cool. I mean, again, we'll have to wait and see probably until tomorrow when they drop the trailer to see if all this stuff is actually going to happen. But I'm kind of optimistic, man. I really think that whatever Rockstar is going to release is going to be really fun. And then the biggest questions, which these are all the questions of the days, you can let me know these in the comment section. But how fast will the new Supercar be? How much will it cost? And how much in total do you think the DLC will cost? So how much money should you save to be prepared for this DLC? I'll touch on the first one. How fast do I think the new Supercar will be? I think it'll be on par with the T20, with the Entity, with the Adder, with the Zentorno. If it is gonna go for, and this is my guess for how much the new Supercar will be, if it goes for 2.5, 2.8, maybe 3 million, it's definitely got to be one of the fastest. I think it'll be balanced because one, I mean, you can't go that much faster than supercars or than the ones that are already in the game. So it's not like there's going to be a big speed increase. Maybe it has good acceleration, good handling, plus the looks. Obviously, it looks nice. So if anyone is worried that this car might not be good, I don't think that's the case. And then how much money should you save? Like I mentioned earlier, I think somewhere in the ballpark of $5 million is going to be needed in your bank account to become a CEO. I could be wrong on that, but that's if they're going to go the VIP system route. I think that's a pretty good guess. As for all the other stuff, though, they did say it's going to be one of the biggest updates yet. And if that car is $2.5, $3 million, I can only imagine what some of the other cars they bring in. Plus, if they have new clothes, new guns, I would say 10 million minimum. If you completed the criminal heist mastermind challenge, you might be good. But that's what I'm willing to bet. 10 million minimum, you'll be good. If you want pretty much everything. If you want the car, if you want a warehouse, and if you want some of the extra stuff. We don't know how much warehouses will cost, but I would assume kind of similar to how the apartments work. Smaller end ones, maybe it'll be 300 to 500,000. Medium ones will be 800 to 700,000, and then the large ones might be 1 to 1.2 million. Especially if you can make a decent amount of money from selling all this contraband, it might be worth it to actually get a large warehouse if you have the money. But you guys can let me know in the comment section, how much do you think you will need, and how much do you think the new supercar will be? Thank you guys for all the amazing support over the last couple of videos. Drop a like on this one if you did enjoy it. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content. See you guys in the next one. And as always, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.